Unit 36, Fighting Fires. Fires are fought almost every day in most countries. Millions of fires start each year and cause great destruction of property and much human suffering. Fire can start almost anywhere at any time if conditions are suitable. All that is needed is oxygen, fuel, and a spark, or some other source of ignition. Fire can involve flammable liquids, combustible gases, and solid materials. Fire may burn slowly, smoldering, or it may flash suddenly over a large area. Fire may cause some burning substances to explode with great force, making windows break and walls fall, or it may burn a building or a forest with such intensity that it cannot be extinguished until all the fuel is consumed. Thus, firefighting is a dangerous occupation, and it must be done carefully, safely, and efficiently. For example, firefighters must wear full protective clothing when fighting any fire. A firefighter who enters a burning building should wear a self-contained breathing apparatus. Smoke inhalation is the cause of the greatest number of firefighter injuries. Fortunately, the great majority of fires are discovered while they are still small and easily controlled or put out. The three means of extinguishing fire are by cooling, smothering, or separating the fuel from the fire. Water from a sprinkler head or hose nozzle is a means of cooling because it absorbs the heat of the fire. Covering an oil fire with a layer of foam is an example of smothering or depriving the fire of oxygen. The raking or digging of a fire line in grass, brush, or forest is an example of separating fuel from the heat. Everyone should learn how to extinguish small fires safely and how to behave in more serious fires. All families should practice exit drills so that everyone knows what to do in a fire emergency. The simplest extinguishing devices for a family to have at home are a garden hose and portable fire extinguishers. In warm weather, the hose can be kept attached to an outdoor faucet. In cold weather, it may be attached to a faucet indoors by an adapter. Water should not be used on kitchen stove fires or on electrical equipment, but it is useful for fires in wastebaskets, furniture, sawdust, and wood shavings, and for exterior fires. Portable fire extinguishers should be used on fires involving grease oil and electrical equipment. Unit 37, Animals of Africa. Africa is home to some of the largest and most varied wildlife in the world, from the rare mountain gorillas in the highlands of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the lemurs of Madagascar. In the past 50 years, however, the wildlife of Africa has been greatly reduced. In the savanna regions, there were once vast herds of zebras, wildebeest, and antelopes. With them were their predators, the lions, cheetahs, and leopards. Other large animal populations included the hyenas, jackals, rhinoceroses, hippopotamuses, and elephants. The number of these animals and others are dwindling, partly as a result of overhunting and poaching, and partly because large areas of their natural habitat have been taken over for farming. Many species are in such danger that they are threatened with extinction. To protect wildlife, several countries have set aside land for the exclusive use of wild animals. These areas, called national parks, have tourist facilities that permit visitors to watch the animals in a natural setting. The parks also make it possible for scientists to study animal behavior in the wild. Although scientists, tourists, and animal lovers praise the national parks, creation of these areas has led to conflict with people who want to use the land for other purposes. The population of Africa is growing rapidly, and there is a shortage of land for raising domestic animals. People often associate Africa with big game, yet there are far more farm animals in Africa than there are wild ones. The cattle, poultry, goats, and pigs that are raised for food compete with the wild animals for living space and grazing lands. The parks are blamed for depriving herders and farmers of land. In addition to the conflict between the national parks and the herders and farmers, there are other conflicts addressing how people and animals live together in Africa. The tsetse fly, which transmits sleeping sickness, has made large tracts of land in East and Central Africa uninhabitable for people or cattle. The Anopheles mosquito is a carrier of malaria and other diseases. Rodents eat grain and can carry diseases such as cholera. Even the beautiful birds of Africa can be destructive to grain crops. Not all animals are in conflict with people in Africa. Some are very helpful. One common ant in the southern part of Africa builds high anthills. The clay mud from these anthills is ideal for making bricks for houses and farm buildings.